I just have my band that I have now. I think all these guys, for the most part, have been together for 2 or 3 years now. Um, I I just really respect their opinions and their work ethic and how they play, and no one in the band is no one wants to be a hot shot. Like
Mm.
everyone intends on serving the song, um, and that's really important.
So, Courtney,
Yes, Christopher.
one thing that I really think we got lost in the 90s was that all of the songs that came out started to sound the same.
I think there might have been a period where I think that happens a lot during any
Like genre, decade of.
decade. At some point, things start to get a similar sound when any genre of music really starts to like settle into itself. There becomes like some period of time where things start to get a similar sound, and then we have like a revolution or a breakthrough, right? Where like the new sound comes in, and we have a new wave or a
New Wave Ska 6!
yeah, there's like a breakthrough and everything is new again, and then we kind of revitalize a sound and refresh it in some way.
Oh, I like that you stumbled on the idea of refreshing something because our guest today, Kenny Feidler, who's an amazing, amazing cosmic cowboy of a musician, is somebody who I believe focuses way more on authenticity than kind of the constant regurgitation of his old sound. He wants to find himself in his new music.
Well, I think that's kind of the root of everything is really, it's not necessarily reinventing the wheel all the time. It's really just finding yourself and then pushing that through. And I think that's going to be the greatness of what our audience experiences with our guest today. And I'm so excited to share it with them. I'm Courtney Dawn.
And I'm Chris Margolin.
And this is Cassingles.
Enjoy the ride, guys. It's going to be a good one.
It's a wild one. Welcome.
For videos later.
Okay. Sorry, I had to run into town, so this is live from the van.
That's all right. We as of this morning moved up from our garage into a room in our house for this. So
Oh, nice.
so we are waiting for our dogs to wake up at some point and knock everything over. So this could be a very interesting
Anything could happen.
anything could happen. Our dog had a tumor removed from his eye this week, so he is in a big old cone. So
Yeah.
the cone could go
The
anywhere.
potential for disaster is great right now. We are just holding it.
So it's good to finally meet you. I'm Chris, and this is Courtney Dawn.
Hi guys.
Thank you so much for joining us on Cassingles. We we love to kind of start things off pretty early in life. I always feel like we get to know the people who come on as they are currently, especially with social media. We kind of get just the crush of everything all the time, but we don't get to know people on a more personal level. And sometimes that personal level starts at childhood. So who would you say who was Kenny at 5 years old?
Dude, I don't know. 5 years old, I don't know if I could think back that far. I can barely remember college anymore. But
I feel that.
I had a great childhood, great parents. We kind of lived suburbs of Baltimore, Maryland. Um, so we were in town, and yeah, I've really had a great childhood, to be completely honest. Yeah, despite the dark music I make, really nice start to my life, and it's been a really great life since. But
That's
yeah,
wonderful. When you
yeah,
think back to your childhood, can you think of like your first days in school? Maybe that first, like I can't think of my first day of
Oh
school,
my
but I can
gosh.
remember like, well, I remember when I almost peed my pants in kindergarten because I needed to do sign language.
sure.
Do you have any memories of those first days in school? Or was it?
Well, my mom was a teacher, so and I went to elementary school where she taught, so that was kind of. Are one of you teachers or
We're
both of you?
both,
Yeah,
yeah, and we
yeah,
both have parents that have
yeah.
been teachers and
It's,
administrators. So
yeah,
yeah.
so you guys know it's kind of like you're kind of get the behind the scenes at school too. So yeah, I guess that was good, and Yeah. And then I guess growing up, I've always kind of like, even though we were kind of close to the city, I always um kind of felt out of place. Like no one ever made me feel that way, but I don't know, just kind of wanted something different, I guess. And but yeah, school, school and everything was great, and parents very supportive of everything we did. Um, did t-ball and played lacrosse and did a couple of sports deals and got into 4-H and showing some um, like cattle shows and stuff like that when I was middle school, maybe. Um, but yeah, and that's how I kind of like found my friend group, I guess, was with like the ag kids.
It's fascinating because we're out here in just outside of Portland, Oregon,
Oh yeah,
and so where in Portland we didn't have a ton of the 4-H programs. In Washington, where Courtney grew up on the just like 5 minutes over the bridge, they had much more of an agriculture kind of hub. But it's weird to I don't think I've ever thought about Maryland and cattle going together at the same time.
yeah, and it's not very big, but I mean that was just a um, it wouldn't be as big as like I guess those ag programs are, like in the Oklahoma and Texas and through the Midwest and stuff. But it's still you know, from like a family that just kind of lives in suburbs, that able to get like a taste of doing that kind of stuff, and then you end up working for farmers around there, and kind of yeah, it's just as much as you want to be a part of that kind of thing. And no, it's great. Yeah, we're actually heading out to Washington tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
very cool.
we're going to Stoughton. We got a private party we're playing out there, and then we're playing Moscow. I,
Okay,
yeah,
very
so
cool. That's good college towns.
yeah. Sorry for the segue.
Oh no, that's totally fine. Here's the question. When you were little, did you find that the same kids that went along with like the ag groups and things like that the things that you enjoyed, did you also find that they were into the same types of music as you?
I feel like music was very like ambient to me up until um, probably towards the end of high school.
Hmm.
It seems like a lot of kids kind of get really find their groove with musically who they like, and I feel like as a kid, like it was um, uh, country radio and then classic rock. It was like those two things were always in the background, and so I did like listen to a lot of like I guess like Randy Travis and Clint Black and Garth was huge.
Oh yeah.
And then also like from my dad, like he always had like the classic rock station on, and then it was, so it was classic rock, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Ozzy, like everything on that side. But lyrically, nothing ever really like never really started getting meaningful to me
Hmm.
until I'd say probably high school, and then that's kind of when I started digging into, you know, I was like really looking for like cowboy music at the time. So, and you could go to the library and rent CDs and burn them, and
Yep.
so it wasn't like as accessible, with like the streaming and everything at the time. Because see, I graduated high school in '06, so so yeah, it kind of had to be hard copies, I
Yeah.
guess. And then but yeah, never was it was kind of just ambient for such a long time. But I'm sure it still had like you know some of that stuff like deep in my brain somewhere, embedded something somewhere. But it just never really moved me until like I got into um uh there was a singer Chris Ledoux that was like a rodeo cowboy and wrote songs about it, and that was like kind of it felt kind of transformative for me because you could
Hmm.
kind of put you in a different place, and that's when it first started that I can definitely remember music actually like moving me and making me like I felt homesick for the first
Oh,
time for like some place I had never been.
I
Um,
like that.
yeah, and so that's like I feel like I talk about that a lot every time I do a podcast or something, but that really was the first time music really moved me, and it changed my life. I mean, I ended up going to college in Oklahoma and rodeoing for 15 years or so, and just stuff that not the normal experience for someone growing up in Baltimore.
Right. Do you think though along the way with when you say it was a transformative experience finding that like the Chris Ledoux song and just kind of finding yourself in that music, for you it sounds like it was almost the lyrics more than it was the music itself. Kind of the
Yep,
music seemed like a comfort piece, but the lyrics were what grabbed you.
yep,
Why do you think as a kid any of the like I don't know, I think listening to like a lot of the classic rock stuff it's definitely fun. It's not going to be like life-changing stuff to put on a Motley
right,
Crue song,
right.
but but what was that what when you heard that for the first time, did it lead you immediately to putting pen to paper?
No, not really. Like the Chris Ledoux stuff
Yeah,
or like the yeah. Not, no, it didn't. It kind of changed my life before I ever started, you know, writing about it. And then I guess as like I'd say in high school, like I kind of started like writing poems and stuff like that. So that was kind of how I started writing songs. But it wasn't. Um, it didn't like spark it for me to. I didn't ever think to myself like I'm gonna do this and I'm
right.
gonna be like that. Um, I feel like it like that music kind of more just like changed like the direction of where I wanted to go,
Mm.
which would guide the life experience for the stuff that start writing later. Because I've always kind of wrote just stuff that I knew or experienced and or people around me. So it's never been like a I never had like this it was a pretty good guide if I was smart enough at the time to like look at it like that. But I just really didn't. It never like crossed my mind. And then I just ended up writing about my own experiences
Right.
um and I guess some of that, like the rock and roll because like primarily now, even though like I'm proudest of like um writing songs, um, like our live show is mostly rock and roll now. And I think I've always like that intensity with, say like the grungy stuff
Mhm.
and Sabbathy kind of songs,
Well, and
Uh,
you show it on I mean, the live album obviously shows that, and it's a good, I mean, it is a good show, and even the older songs that might have been more stripped down, a little bit more like clean for the album,
yeah.
come out as a little bit more like heavy-handed and just fun and like they hit you a bit harder.
Oh yeah. Well, and when I started kind of recording my musical process has kind of been fairly public because when I first started, it was like you could I got like a PC mic and downloaded Audacity and just wrote songs, learned how to play the guitar, don't know music theory, nothing. I and just kind of was just playing enough long enough just to kind of like write a song. And it was always just to move the lyrics along, I
Yep.
guess. And I recorded them and just it was right when it started to become accessible where you could start putting out your own stuff for the first time without any gatekeeper.
Right.
So I did, and and like some of that old stuff is what's I mean it's definitely been the most popular out of what I've done. Like I appreciate that people like that some of the lyrics are meaningful and it makes me cringe a little bit because I have to like listen to my 20 something year old self or um, stumbling over the guitar and trying to figure it out not very well and then the audio quality was so bad but it's still kind of neat because I try to like stay centered on like well if there was someone that I really like listening to and I was able to find these like handmade
Yep.
kind of bootleg kind of recordings be pretty sick.
Yeah, and when your lyrics are wonderful. I really enjoyed like the lyrical quality of your, your writing.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, because I understand, I mean, my husband's been a musician forever, and I listen to all sorts of qualities of recordings. We have
Sure.
electricity in our garage, so I understand cringy recordings.
Yeah.
And my husband's been graceful enough to let me read out of his like 13-year-old
Oh, I you
book.
want to talk about
Uh,
cringy stuff? I've literally saved all of. I mean, I've been in band since I was 13, and I have practice recordings going back to like full band practice tapes when you just like hit record play on a boom box in the corner, and
nice.
then I'll give
There's a
my
rap group
I'll
that
yeah,
was with
I was in a rap group for a little while, so
my like middle
it's
school.
it's good stuff that should never ever be heard again, but it's out there, and like you said, it's the documenting of a lot of it that's the fun part of it. Like I know that
Sure.
it'll be around for a million years.
And it's a beautiful process to watch somebody's evolution, I think. And there's this like, I don't know, beautiful thing about the bravery of at every moment of somebody's career, they're going to put out everything, and it doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be perfect. Um,
Yeah.
they're going to put out a piece of them, and it's vulnerable, and it's authentic, and it's real. And I love that about artists. I think that
Yeah.
that's a great thing. And I loved when I had the opportunity to listen to like a wide range of your music. I mean, there's a difference sometimes in sound quality, but as somebody who's, lived through that, that's nothing here or there. But
Yeah. Right.
there's just such an honesty in your lyrics, and I'm a lyric girl. I
Oh, thank you.
for the lyrics, and I love that about that, and the storytelling that comes with your music. So I really
Um,
appreciate
well, that means a lot. Thank you. And like, I mean, like besides like I have that Barrel Racer Land song, which was just like a kind of a joke thing. Like that's kind of like an outlier to anything I've ever wrote. It was just like you're a college kid, kind of doing shithead stuff. Um, but other than that, like yeah, everything I've wrote, um I've cared for it, lyrically and it's things that I really felt. And so like as the years go on, your life experience it changes and obviously your songs do too. And so that's why I never just like hunkered down and tried to regurgitate things that I've done in the past, even though like definitely more popular and that's what um has made me way more money. But I've tried to just continuously write things that were real to me. I mean, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, um, I'm 38. you know, I'm I'm I spend a lot of time on the road. Like those are the things I write about, the things I care about,
Yeah.
my kids, and so yeah, you just try to find more eloquent ways to do it. To say those things and talk about things that are important to you as you grow up.
when you think back, has there been
Sorry, just like the horn.
That's awesome. You
I figured it was for me. There
good?
been mentors in music that have really helped you along the way?
Um, I feel like now I'm in the best spot I've ever been as far as having like mentorship as with other songwriters. Because for the longest time I was just kind of on my own, just doing it, just
Right.
messing around. I never, as much as I wish I would have just like gotten a band or something when I was 13 or like looking back, that would have been so cool. I wish I would have done all that stuff um and so really like the band that I have now has been um really important to me as far as like Casey, our guitar player, like he's from Idaho. He's had like some really great mentors and he's a really great songwriter and he's really good at I'd say like producer, like qualities like
Yeah.
when it comes to songs. And and the other, Tom, my drummer, is owns a studio and killer musician. And I finally have those people
Yep.
around me that I don't know, it's just like the perfect mix. And they're my best friends. Like next to my wife, like I spend so much time with my band and they're all really great musicians. And
It makes such a world of difference to go from playing with people who you can play with versus people
yeah,
you can learn from as they are playing in front of you. I mean,
that's true.
I I feel like that quite a bit when I, walk into a practice room and I can look at, a drummer and my guitar player and go, what are you even doing? And have to catch up with them.
Yeah, yeah, and for for a long time, I felt like I was, you know, as you, I feel like my, say like you started when you're 13 getting into bands. I started playing in a band as a late 20-year-old, so had a lot to like catch up on, and I'm still am like I'm still learning. But I just have, my band that I have now. I think all these guys, for the most part, have been together for 2 or 3 years now. Um, I I just really respect their opinions and their work ethic and how they play, and no one in the band is no one wants to be a hot shot. Like
Mm,
everyone intends on serving the song, um, and that's really important because
it's
I'm
big
not
fan.
really like a showy guy anyway. Like I'd be fine to do like the stay like hang in the back of the stage and do and and play the show, but whatever. But I like hey, it's not like the me show. It's everybody kind of just does their part to make the songs the best they can be.
I love how you said that everybody's here to serve the song. Like we're
Yeah,
all here for one common purpose because that synergy is magical when everyone has that common goal. And you can see it. I could see just on your face, even when you started talking about your band, it's like the same look you got when you mentioned like being a husband and a father.
yeah.
It's that same love, and it translates in just talking about them. So I'm so glad that you found them and it's working so well for you. It just makes my heart smile. I love that
Oh,
for you.
oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm so fortunate, and uh, I know that a lot of bands. I mean, some things start out, that honeymoon phase. Everything's great. We've been doing this for 3 years, and we spend, I don't know, 65,000 miles or so a year together. And it's a unique thing. Like I think our band dynamic is really special. I mean, besides everybody being friends and everybody being really good players, um, like I talk about this every once in a while, but we leave. So we have to be in Washington tomorrow. We leave tonight at 8 o'clock, and we just drive through the night. So we do that every week, and then we leave night after the last show and drive straight home. And everyone in my band is down to do that.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So that's how we have, it's kind of like full-time coverage of the country as far as touring, but we're not out doing 30, 20 or 30-day tours. We're going out doing 3 days and going straight home.
Yeah.
And like I've kind of made that a point since I started doing like I got into music, or I pursued doing this as a job in 20 the end of 2019, and with the goal of having more time with my family, because there was kind of like there was enough of a little build on um, streaming and stuff that felt like have some like passive income from that. I just got to go make sure I can get into the rooms, and because like a lot of the when I first started with the playing with the band and doing it as a job, um, I had some of the had the like the listeners across the country or whatever, but those old recordings and acoustic stuff, it's like how does that translate into what a live show is, and how do you sell that to a venue, to give them the confidence in booking you. So I pretty much just took every show that I could, and whatever deal it was, whether not
Yeah.
no guarantees, just kind of door deals for
Oh yeah.
and we still do a lot of door deals.
Yep.
But we I like it. I like how that happened kind of organically. Like it kind of got was before I didn't have like that massive streaming. Like there's a lot of people now that get these massive social media followings and streaming um, numbers before they have any show experience. I kind of had enough to just have like a leg to stand on, but still had to go out and do it. And I think that was really important because it's never been like super cushy. And I feel
Yeah.
like I've appreciated it along the way. Like every step we get to, every like level, whether it's pay or just like better routing, I feel like I've appreciated it every year. It gets a little better, and now I'm confident to like if I want to go play, I'll play anywhere and not feel nervous about like I have full faith in my band doing it and in our live show, like whether it's we've got to open some arena shows and stuff like that. Like it's I'm glad it's happening now and not you know not 5 years ago.
I have
So
a question about touring. What is playing when you guys are doing this road trip? Like,
Oh,
what are each of you choosing? Like, what's your go-to road trip song?
and do you agree on how much of it do you agree on?
everybody's pretty like-minded. Casey, he pretty much DJs a lot. I drive a lot, but a lot of Willie's Roadhouse on XM. And because we have multiple steel pedal steel players in our band, so like um, I feel like the classic country flies around here pretty good. And then like weird stuff too. I mean, I've always been into like I'd say like the real if you want to like the old school alt country
Okay.
stuff. Like I've always really enjoyed that stuff.
Now, when you say old school alt country, because we got about 10 years on you. So when you say old school alt country,
Oh man,
Are we like Uncle Tupelo old school alt country,
yeah.
or what are we talking about?
I guess I would kind of say like that era.
Okay.
Is
All
that is
right.
that is that
Yeah,
fair?
Uncle Tupelo, old
Yeah,
97s,
and then
like
like
yes.
Sunvolt and like
Oh
Okay,
yes.
this old school kind of just
Yes.
dull slightly and aged me 100 years, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I
and
do like it old school.
It's
I
the
kind of
right
found
time.
found a lot of that stuff. Um, I don't know how relevant Pandora is anymore, but there was a when
I
I was
think you're
in
the first time. This is the first time I've heard about Pandora in at least 5 years.
that was like a major introduction into all that stuff. That's how I found Lucero. Like Lucero's one of my favorite bands.
Ah,
I used to live
Um,
yes.
on like
I,
Huge
that's what I found
Lucero
so
fan.
many things on Pandora.
yeah, and because I when I was in college, I had a little boot repair shop in my garage, and I would just play Pandora in there, and that's how I kind of got into and like Jason Molina,
Oh yeah.
like like the Magnolia Electric Company, like that stuff, like really dug in, and but that was I think that was the only way to for unless you were searching at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
there was internet radio and stuff, but like, and you could stream stuff, but I think that's where I really kind of got into all that was from Pandora and just
Yeah.
leading me down these little,
I feel like they were the first company to really have just a like a random jukebox mix going all day long.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
it
and
was
uh,
so
and
nice.
you could combine drive-by truckers and Lucero and get pretty solid mix.
Uh-huh. It was
Yeah,
magical, especially
yeah,
for those of us who were here before digital, because I'm an 80s baby. So
oh
like
yeah,
it was like, oh my gosh, I can just click a button and it'll
it's
magical
still
jukebox
it's
machine.
still amazing
yeah.
the fact that I can look up whoever I want, like the random artist that I'm trying to find the one album that they made in '86 that I can't find anywhere else, but somebody online has it, and so
Oh, yeah.
I can always find it there.
It's kind of at a point. I'd say then um, it was there was a lot of discovery, and now I feel like everything is so readily available. It's kind of overwhelming to where I mean you can really go in some deep dives, and but it's not just gonna just come up in the rotation as much. I don't know. I feel like it's a great time to listen to music. It's a great time to be a band
Well,
and make music. So,
and I guess this is a I when we were talking about numbers, follower counts and things like that, and the fact that you're kind of that weekend warrior for shows. How do you feel the social media side of that translates to who you see in front of you? I know things are getting amazing for you, but do you kind of feel like there's an honest count, the people who are truly supportive of you are actually those online, or do you feel like there's a big difference between who your followers are in social media and the people who come out to your shows? And I guess where do you think they find you?
I think, I mean, I think for the shows, I think they find you on social media. I'm not like a really big social media guy. Like I'll do, um, I don't do make a lot of like content. It's just, it's kind of like me posting where we're playing and, like it's with the band doing some stuff. It's not really, feel like, I know a lot of people probably think this about themselves, but I feel like I keep it pretty real on social media about what my life is. Like, there's no private jets, and it's a lot of good. Uh, so I feel like I kind of keep it at like arm's length. Like, you're not gonna get every month of the day, but and I think that that's just the same person. And social media like, or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
really like a person. I guess.
Well, and it's tricky. I mean, it's fascinating to watch some of the up and coming Americana artists because obviously if you're not spending all day long on social media trying to build this audience by doing whatever you can. Like I do like watching some of the transitions between I think Colby Acuff is a good one to look at for social media because he went from doing like walking on and going, okay, I've got a show here, to doing these like back porch concerts now. And it it's not super performative because he's not up there like
Yeah, he's done a really good
he's
job.
not
Like,
doing yeah, he's not doing a dance. It's just here's the song that we're playing. And it's kind of nice to get that side. And I like kind of the more Americana groups that have started doing like a little bit more backdoor sessions. It's not as much niche social media marketing. It's
yeah,
how can we be authentic on social media?
yeah, I agree with that, and I think it's really important, like, to not have like so many eggs in one basket when it comes to there. There's ways you can market yourself. Like I really can't get with TikTok anymore. Like I have a placeholder, but sorry, my wife's can you guys still see me? Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Um, I feel like there's a lot of those. I don't know. I feel like they all have to serve like kind of the purpose of what your goal is. Like personally, like my goal is to make a living
Yeah,
and make a living for my band. And it sounds like a little defeatist, but it's really not. I just don't have any like ambitions past being happy and my family being happy and us making enough. And I feel like I make enough personally, and I want my band to like everybody's like everybody to be comfortable enough to where like it's something I'm proud of with our band. Like we have six guys that travel in the van and a booking agent, and and everybody makes a good living. Like
That's amazing.
it's
that,
incredible.
yeah. And it's a very like not I run like we run this band a lot differently than a lot of bands do. I feel like having like a little bit of the sorry, I feel like I just redirected the entire
No, no,
conversation.
this is
We love it.
perfect.
But like we we split everything. Like the streaming that I have from like when I was doing the solo stuff, like it props me up a little bit to where I feel like I can cover fuel and expenses, and then we split the pay, like even,
That's
and
awesome.
I can stockpile merch, and we can split the merch profit,
I
and
love that.
yeah, and
Having done this for 30, for 30 years, I can tell you that I have been in many more projects where that is not the case, and
sure,
it causes too many issues, and playing music should never be stressful. There shouldn't be drama inside a band if you're,
Yeah.
yeah.
And well, and I feel like it's, I mean, I'm in a fortunate spot to where that works for me personally as a
Hmm.
band leader. And I also have people in my band that appreciate it and are invested, because you just don't always get that mix of people.
You don't.
It's a very unique situation that I'm not going to sit on the high horse and be like, this is the way, because it's definitely not for everybody. And like, I know that it gets like taken advantage of by some people. And then I know that there's bands that, um, you know, the, the players aren't like taken care of. Like
Yeah.
people aren't treated like as equals in the band. I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen with mine. I just don't want it to have that dynamic.
I
I
love
love
that.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, with every one of our guests, as I'm listening to your music, I have a brain injury, so I haven't been able to necessarily experience music for the last few years in the way that I normally had before it. Um,
Uh,
and so I have this wonderful opportunity with every one of our guests to re-experience your music in a whole new way, which is wonderful for me. And as an educator, as I do that, I try to think of a lesson that I would do with one of your songs. And
okay.
so the song that I picked, move this over to the other side. The song that I picked for this one was Cosmic Cowboy.
Which I know you were talking about early albums and things that you go back to sometimes
Uh,
that you might cringe at. So I'm hoping Cosmic Cowboy still has a good place in your heart.
oh yeah.
I
No, it
loved
does.
I loved this song. So the lesson that I wrote, I titled it "The Cosmic Story Within," and the purpose would be to identify narrative structures within a text, your song, and then create an erasure poem out of your song, showing their understanding of a story and kind of creating their own story out of your song. So I'd start by playing your song and then providing each person a copy of your song so they can kind of go through and set the purpose while they listened, to have them think about the person who's narrating this story, based on what they're seeing on in the lyrics and what they're hearing. What can they learn about the person? What kind of a person is this? What does he love? What does he value? What does he hope for? And what is he experiencing? And then talk about that in small groups, and then share out those thoughts in a large group, and then have the discussion. What can we learn about someone through their lyrics or through their story? How do we learn about a person by what is written in the text? And then how can we kind of express ourselves in that same kind of way? And then using your lyrics, they'll choose 3 to 5 stanzas, and take a couple lines from each of those. And so I wrote my own, and I'm not sure if you can see
We'll
mine.
send you off everything
I
too.
can't, but you might send it to me.
I'll send it to you. So mine was called Wish You Might, and I took the first 5 stanzas. And mine is about my kind of going through my brain injury. We were in a car accident. And I went through kind of an isolating period afterwards while I was recovering. It was kind of some dark times. And then
Sure. Yeah.
uh, through recovery. And I loved your song, especially because as I came up with the idea to do an erasure poem, we think of our daughter as our North Star.
Yeah.
So that especially spoke to me. So here's my poem. I'm atmosphere, eyes neon, every body settles, but I'm stars. Honey, we're on a ride. Break it, better. A little place, view of sky. If world, you fly. Honey, we roll. We still got a hold. Sky's fire. Let North Star guide. Hopeful. Wish you might. And so that's my poem.
I love it.
Thank you so much. I had so much fun with your lyrics. It was just such a gift to be able to write using them. And it just
Oh,
inspired me to do so many other things. So I appreciate it.
no, thank you. Oh, that is meaningful to me. And I feel like that, that song, it's nothing, there was no, I just wrote that for my wife and kids. It's just when when you have a family and you're out, like you spend a lot of time like traveling, like that's like your main thoughts. And so I feel like that's there was nothing, I feel like I kind of there's nothing like cut and dry in that song. For me, is like writing it. I just yeah, it's just something I wrote for my family, and so that's great. Thank you.
It it spoke to me as a man who loves someone just deeply, and no matter what, is going to create a place outside of the world in the universe,
Oh yeah,
and create an entire world to get back to that person. Um,
yeah.
and it literally, I mean, it made me clearly write a poem about my family,
Oh,
and what I did to get back to them. It's gonna make me
yeah. Oh no, no, no. That no,
because
that means a lot. No, thank
that
you.
was my journey. So it means, I mean, it's interesting that it was written about your family because I wasn't sure exactly what it was written about, but I
Yeah,
could tell that it was some sort of story about you, and I could see your heart in it. Um,
yeah.
and it just, a lot of your music was like that for me when I looked through, especially when I looked through in the lyrics. Um, there's just so much of your heart in so much of what you do, and it clearly translates, and we just appreciate that so much about
Well,
you.
no,
You've got a really graceful style in your lyric
thank you,
writing.
thank
Um,
you. And,
as
I appreciate that people even notice. I mean, I know that like people tell me that songs mean something, but it's nice when people that you know you both are educated, like as far as songwriting and writing in general, and appreciate the some of the nuances, I
yeah.
guess. So that
Well, I
means a
think
lot.
when we started listening to Cosmic Cowboy, especially the first thing that caught us immediately, Courtney had me stop because it was just the abundance of similes and metaphors immediately, and
Sure.
as educators, it was like, oh, okay, there's got to be something here, but the lyrics themselves are just so beautifully written, and you really you've got something special. The way you
Oh,
put
thank
your
you.
your authenticity shines through, and we really appreciate that about you.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Yeah.
We loved having you on today. It has been such a treat, and we just have enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you so much for your time, and especially with how busy you are.
And
Oh no,
should you ever find yourself out in the Portland area, we look forward to connecting with you.
I should have hit you guys up. We were just at Showdown a couple.
Ah,
It might have been a month or two ago.
well, next time through, we'll definitely have to meet up.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for listening and following along. We'll be back soon with more stories and songs. That's Cassingles. That's Cassingles. Yeah, that's Cassingles.